When people ask me about SEO, my answer is always the same. It's not going to work. And it doesn't work the way that it did back in 2016. So, right around the end of 2016 to about 2018, Google started making some radical shifts in how the search engine results page was displayed. So, if you're not familiar, this is the search engine results page. And this is pre 2018. So around 2016 to 2018 is when it started dying off, and right around 2018 is when it like just stopped working the way it used to. So search engine results page. If you do a search at the top right here, how it used to look was there would be maybe one or two ads, and then there would be the SEO results. So this is what everyone was fighting for. These top three results right here. If you got into these top three, you would get 80 to 90% of all the searches that were coming in from dentists near me. So this was very valuable. People would basically compete for these three positions. And if you were able to get one of those three, it really paid off. And it paid off for a long time. And a lot of dental practices were built this way, using this strategy. But today, if you do a search, searches get divided into multiple categories now. It's not that all searches go into Google and come out with the same results page. The results page themselves have completely changed. If you search for like an e-commerce item, like something to buy, shopping, then the results you get is going to be shopping related. If you search for something that's related to news, the search results is going to be news related. If you do a general search, you can still see glimpses of the old search engine. But for you, if you're a dental practice, searches for local service businesses, which is like dentist near me, which is restaurant near me. Whenever Google identifies that this person is looking for a local service business, it's going to trigger this. And the main difference is that it has this thing wedged in where the three SEO positions used to be. All right, so let's talk about this. Whenever you do a search that Google identifies as a local search, and you can kind of tell, like if you do a search, Google will show, like a notification will pop up, hey, Google wants to know your location. That's how you know that you're doing a local search, and Google wants to get your location so they can serve this to you. All right, you're gonna see ads, just like before, except now we have another ad. There's typically gonna be 3 ads now, if this is a keyword that people want to compete for. So you can already see, just because of the addition of another ad, the entire thing shifts down a bit. And now there's this huge thing called Google Maps. And to rank well on it, you do what's called local SEO, and you work on your Google business profile. All right, and this thing takes up a huge chunk. Now, 80 to 90% of the searches for whatever it is are going here, right? And even in here, there's a spot for an ad. And then now, all the SEO positions before have been shifted all the way down here. So the people down here are essentially fighting for the scraps. They're fighting for 10 to 20% of these searches coming in from here. So why is this where you want to be playing? Well, people prefer this. They prefer this as how to make decisions. In the past, what would happen is they would go onto the SEO websites. They would go onto the listings that the companies made themselves. They would go on and realize, oh wow, this guy is not even from the city. Like his office is located somewhere else, but he just happens to have a page that's ranking him on the city. And now to drive over there, it's going to take me 45 minutes. Here, Google Business, Google Maps, is hyper local. It takes their location into consideration and gives them the best rated places that are closest to them. So it's weighing all these different factors that people find valuable. And so as a result, people can rely on this as a better source of finding local businesses. So that's why people started shifting away. They said, oh, this is much better. We're not going to start clicking on these SEO links anymore. It doesn't give me as good of an experience as relying on this thing. So that's how the environment has shifted radically, and that's the primary reason why SEO doesn't work so well. Let's talk about a couple other reasons. So what I've been talking about is mainly SEO agencies versus Google. So SEO agencies are basically, excuse me, in the past they were responsible for your success on Google, right? And now Google is basically saying, all right, it used to be SEO agencies, but we don't like that anymore. We don't like the fact that all these businesses are paying SEO agencies to give users a bad experience because they're creating false landing pages, saying they're in false locations, saying they service an area that's far away. And people care about proximity, so it was giving users a bad experience. And since they were paying SEO agencies, that means people weren't paying Google to perform better. They were paying SEO agencies to perform better. So Google said, okay, let's internalize that a bit. Let's create more ad spots. And so now Google is basically winning the fight because guess what? They own the platform that SEO agencies play in. So already here, we're seeing massive shifts to less agency for you. So you can't go out there and manipulate the search engine to benefit you as much. And that's a good thing because then we get rid of all the manipulators. So there's a shift away from agency of us to more being in control of, giving control to Google, who is prioritizing user experience, things like proximity and things that people care about. All right, another reason why SEO doesn't work so much. The entire strategy, the entire game of SEO, you were basically saying, okay, my office is going to live and die by creating backlinks and content. The problem is that this is very easy, cheap, and quick to create. Back before ChatGPT, back before Gemini and all this AI stuff, there used to be this thing called Jasper AI. And this is a tool that we would leverage to create basically content at scale. This was groundbreaking, but it was very niche. Only like SEO agencies knew about it. So that's why we were able to create advantages for people. But now, content is everywhere. People can create an SEO strategy in a matter of minutes just by typing the right things into ChatGPT. So how is this a competitive advantage? Well, you might say backlinks, but you can just buy backlinks. If you have $50, you can get pretty good backlinks, right? So this entire strategy is it's flawed. It's not a real competitive advantage. Let's say you do abuse this to get into a higher ranking right here. Well, someone else can do the same thing, okay? And that leads us into this point. So if someone is winning SEO and they're doing very well because of it, it would be impossible to win because all they would have to do is cycle that money back into more backlinks and more content, and they would never lose these two spots. So it's a logical fallacy to think that, okay, we can go into this game of SEO with people who have been doing this for years and somehow just catch up in a matter of 6 to 12 months. That's not how it will work. Furthermore, there's a thing called domain authority, which is like Google's trust level, and that builds up over time. So the odds are insurmountable if you're coming in now. So the idea that we can go in and beat someone in SEO who's been there for a long time is also flawed. It's just a logical fallacy. So if you've been relying on SEO, if you've been doing SEO, if you're seeing the numbers and you're realizing, wow, yeah, it isn't working anymore, which you probably are, the better alternative is local SEO. So working on Google business profiles, optimizing this stuff, working on your description, working on posting there, working on getting your reviews up. Your reviews are going to be one of the biggest indicators of how well you rank, besides proximity and besides your category. So make sure that's optimized. And also, but the problem is, this is also very easy, cheap, and quick to do. So my other alternative for you is to recommend that you find a sustainable strategy, one that's unique to you and one that can't be easily copied. Thanks.